Good evening, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? Oh, I should probably turn you guys up so I could actually hear your response. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it? Every fucking time. So cams are a little janky. You guys watching at home, give me a second. I'm working on them. It'll be just a second. So you guys are all over the place now, which is fun.
That's how I feel mentally too.
This is how we start the new year.
I'm rushing to get this character sheet complete because
we're just fucking doing it live.
The JSON decided to be a
butt. So you guys that are watching at home, Shadowrun, if you guys caught our character creator thing, is a pain in the ass to set up. And so we had a nice little program that was supposed to help guide us through it, and we did that last time. And then it was supposed to be able to import into Roll20. Guess what it does not do? It doesn't import into Roll20. It just decides that fuck you, I'm not doing it. So we realized that tonight, and so yeah, everybody's working on getting their characters reset up now.
And I've noticed something. I don't see a spot for cyber enhancements on here. Oh, here it is, cyber program.
Yeah,
no, that's your deck.
It's in there. It's under
that's
like
your deck.
Equipment or something, if I remember right.
Nope.
Because I found it earlier. So it is there.
I'm gonna have to say you're a dirty liar.
Let me pull up your sheet. Hang on. Great, you've all renamed yourselves now. I don't know who's who. Who are you?
Bonesaw.
Okay. It is under enhancements, cyber/BioWare.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you put that in there right now.
I did.
It wasn't there a second ago.
Totally hacked it, and just added it as we were talking.
Of course you would. I mean, why not?
Evil DM powers. How dare?
It is evil DM powers. So. It's been a little bit since we've done this. I almost forgot what the fuck I actually do here. Like, I don't know what is this. What is OBS? What are all these programs and buttons? I don't know what any of this shit does. But yeah, so we took a break from everything for the holidays and all that good stuff, and so now we're back. Not only the show, but Blood Moon Adventures on Sunday nights. So we are super excited, and everybody's gonna, if you stop doing this shit, I gotta do the other screen too. So we're gonna switch over here. I'm gonna fix all these cameras so I can just get out of the way, and we'll be back to doing everything.
I just want to say, started the new year. # blame Impious.
Fucking pro streams, guys.
I mean. We over on Gibbering Mouthers have been holding down the fort, so
pro streams.
Why was it going?
We are the most professional of streams.
You're the most something of streams, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone caught the stream last night, and I tripped over words like royally. To the point to where I just started doing a remix.
There we go. All right, everything is mostly set up now, so it's all good.
Until Mila comes back.
Megs, check Discord for me.
Yeah, exactly, Zion. What's his face?
Hey, people are in places. Everything looks decent. So yeah, we're good. I think we're okay. So hi. How is everybody doing? How's everybody's New Year and Christmas?
I got shinies for Christmas.
You got shinies for Christmas?
I got shinies for Christmas.
Christmas are fun.
I got a home stuff for Christmas because my ex-roommates took everything when they left.
Hey, home stuff is awesome.
Right, I'm 35 and home stuff sounds amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so like
more shit I don't have to buy.
I got brand new plates. I got brand new silverware, so I can actually now eat on things that aren't napkins.
We bought new plates like right before Christmas for Christmas gifts for ourselves because we were like, our plates kind of suck. We've had them for like 5 years and they're just not happy with them anymore. And like, yeah, these kind of suck. So we bought new plates.
Over the last like 6 or 7 months, I've slowly been buying new small appliances, and it makes me unreasonably happy.
It's dumb how good that feels. Like, oh, I got a new fucking coffee pot. Fuck you. I'm like, that feels great. Yeah, good deal. How about everybody? Do Canadians celebrate Christmas? Is that a thing?
Canadians do celebrate Christmas, and they do it.
Does Santa like ride by on a moose?
Probably. He only needs one moose though, because those things are huge
moose.
And powerful. But yeah, Christmas was all right. Usually I do a huge family thing for Christmas. Well, I shouldn't say usually, every single year of my entire life. But all of my family was out of town, so I was by myself this Christmas, and it wasn't as depressing as it sounds. It was slightly somber, but I think I spent like 7 hours of the day just playing games, which is not something I've done in ages, so that was nice.
Right on. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit here. Nice. How was everybody's New Year's? Did you guys go drink way too much, or what'd you guys do?
I streamed all night.
Streamed all night? That's fair.
I worked all night.
Boo.
I don't really do anything on New Year's. It's just another day to me, so.
Fair enough. I got invited to a Cyberpunk / Blade Runner New Year's Eve party, so that was a lot of fun.
I saw those pictures. It looked like a good time.
Completely up my alley, so it was a lot of fun. And then the next day we went and saw the new Star Wars movie, which I have some words about, but I'm not sure everybody's seen it, so I'm not going to say anything about those words. Some of those words being bullshit, but yeah. So it was a good time still. The movie was enjoyable. I just have problems with some of the plot armor. How's everybody else's New Year's? Mags and well, I think Rojan, you streamed again, didn't you?
Yep, I did an all-day stream.
Right on.
It was mostly Skyrim permadeaths.
Did it go well?
Until he died.
Yeah, I died a lot. I'm currently on character number 19 right now.
Right on. I'm not gonna say how many playthroughs I'm on They Are Billions because I've lost count. That game's fun and a pain in the ass. Max, what'd you do?
Taught Gabriel what Black Cat fireworks were, and I realized the hard way my son is a fucking pyro freak.
So when your house burns down, we know who to blame. Okay,
Exactly.
Good enough. Good enough.
But you know, with him being autistic, it's just I have not seen him do the hand flap or the rocking back and forth in so long. But when we started popping those fireworks, those endorphins kicked in. He's just like, "This is so cool!" Like,
That's awesome.
God, what have I done?
He's a boy. You taught him that it's legal to blow things up. I mean, what do you want? I mean, I'm almost positive that Rojan and HP Fox will go, yeah.
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 See?
Yeah. Well, you know.
Like,
Just
I can
be prepared for when he comes home after he's hurt himself by lighting things on fire or blowing them up. Because that will happen.
Surprised I did not lose a finger at one point playing with fireworks. By the way, don't hold a firework in your hand and light it.
I've done that. But I'm
feel
one
good.
of those smart asses that are like, I let go at the perfect time. Pew!
No, I held it until it blew up.
Oh,
And I just kind
no.
of forced my hand open. It was one of the super small little crackers that usually comes in like a string.
Uh-huh.
It was one of those by itself. Yeah, it didn't feel real good. But,
Oh.
yeah. So, don't do that. It doesn't feel good. I have learned that experience for you. Anybody out there watching, don't do it. It's a bad idea. But
Do it.
we're playing Shadowrun. Assuming everybody's got their characters mostly set
Slowly
up.
but surely.
Slowly but surely. All right, so
Getting
they're
there.
Very
No.
slowly but surely.
TBG, not a black cat. I'm not. I had a little bit more common sense than that at like 14, because I think that's about the age I was when I did this. But it was like a string of the it's the ones that are like pop 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 pop, and it was just like a single one off of one of those strings, so it didn't have much in it. Had it been any bigger, yeah, I probably would have lost a finger, but I didn't, luckily. And I learned, hey, don't do that. It's not a smart idea.
Frack.
What else is going on? Sunday we will get back into Blood Moon Adventures. You guys that have not caught the show, that is our 5th edition D&D Tomb of Annihilation show. And it's with these three, I was going to say fine people, but I don't want to lie. These three people and Spooner Sloth and Alicorn. And they are, I think, level 4, maybe level 5 now. I don't remember if
I think we're 5.
I think I gave you guys level 5. And they are having a lot of very interesting deals with people they probably shouldn't be making deals with. I'm looking at you, HP Fox. And I'm really surprised that Spooner can't fly, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'll have you know.
I was really waiting for that.
Yeah, instead you made us Tomaz and Zammot from frickin' G.I. Joe.
I'll have you know that I have never made a deal that I didn't intend on making.
All right. There will be more
just
deals.
ask Rojan, he knows.
There will be more deals to be made.
I just ask that you do not allow him a wish.
No.
No, I'm done with wishes. I'm never doing another one of those.
Wishes are one of those things in D&D, like, I don't ever hand out lightly. Because things like nuking planets happen.
The idea of a wish is fantastic until you actually do one.
Right. Until you think this through, like, oh, I'm going to get fucked, aren't I? Like, yeah.
To be fair, he didn't get fucked, just the rest of the group.
Just everybody else in like an 85-mile radius.
Which ultimately ended in the entire plane of existence being fucked.
So, there's that. So you guys that have not played or been exposed to Shadowrun out there watching us, what Shadowrun is, and if you haven't, I'll be surprised if you don't know what it is. But it's a cyberpunk fantasy universe. So there are SMGs, there are rocket launchers, there are drones that fly around with chainsaws on them. There are tanks, there are banks, there are huge mega corporations and arcologies, and there are also dragons and orcs and elves and dwarves and magic and spirits and all kinds of fun stuff. Shadowrun, for me, is one of my absolute favorite settings because it takes two of my favorite things in the world, which is fantasy and cyberpunk, and just throws them into a blender and goes, here, play with this. We are going to be playing an adventure that is that was one of the what's the word? Convention adventures for 4th edition. We're playing 5th edition though, so it's going to be a little modified and tweaked. So you guys may have, if you are familiar with Shadowrun and you went and played at conventions or you've played games in the past, you may be familiar with the story. If you are, no spoilers, don't be a dick. None of these guys, I don't think, have ever actually played tabletop Shadowrun. Generally, if you play Shadowrun in person, you need a metric ton of D6s because everything is done in D6. Luckily, we're playing on Roll20, and I don't have to carry around a bucket of dice with me to run this game. I'm trying to think of what else to really kind of say about Shadowrun. Shadowrun is typically a game of as few losses as possible. Generally, runners don't live very long. Shadowrunners, or like basically street mercenaries, don't live very long, and they just kind of get what they can while they're alive. To know of a Shadowrunner that retires or moves into some other field is kind of odd. Street gangs are a huge factor. Racism is a huge factor in Shadowrun. Humans do not take kindly to meta-humanity a lot of times, and a lot of times meta-humanity doesn't take kindly to humans or each other. It's just kind of one of the themes of Shadowrun. The movie Bright that came out on Netflix, which I've not taken the time to watch because I've heard was terrible, apparently has a lot of Shadowrun kind of influence on it, and is apparently what Shadowrun would be like without all the cyberpunk. They even, like, the new trailer teaser thing that they put up yesterday or today has a reference to Shadowrun in it. So I'm sure that Shadowrun was part of the inspiration for that. Yeah, that's kind of my 2 second, I guess 2 minutes. Too long didn't read on what Shadowrun is. Is anybody done with their character?
I've got the most part
Okay.
done for the important stuff wise. Like equipment and stuff I'm transferring over, but that's not important.
Okay, well, while you're working on that, since you spoke up first, tell everybody about your character.
Of course, because because my name is now HB Fox.
No, it's because you were actually further done and volunteered yourself by speaking up.
See, this is why I don't speak up. This is why I never spoke up in class, because the teacher calls on you all the time.
Right.
All right, so my character is... I forgot what class he is. I think he's some sort of tech dude.
You're playing a rigger.
A rigger. There we go.
Yeah.
No, wait. Yeah, because you wouldn't let me play a decker. That's right.
Yeah, you're playing rigger because you're working with the drones and stuff.
Yep, I am playing a rigger. His name is Logan Bonesaw McGraw. He is a dwarf, and the best way to describe him is just think of a dwarf version of Mr. Torg from Borderlands, just obsessed with explosions and gunfire all around. Not really the most cordial person, isn't really one for social situations, and he's not really one for trying to hide that from anyone.
Okay. So very, very rough around the edges,
Very
forward, no tact.
Yeah. It's like he has absolutely zero tact. He just says whatever's on his mind, and very, very rough around the edges.
All right, fair enough. You know what? I'll let HP Fox go last. Mags, tell us about your character.
Mal is an elf. She's not the chatty type. She really doesn't like anybody, not even other elves. She's very antisocial, but we'll work with a group if it gets the job done faster so she can get paid faster. She's trained in medicine, and she is a long-range sniper.
Okay. HP Fox. Randomly pick you to go last.
As soon as I can find the Zoom window to unmute myself. I am playing... What is my character's name? Where do I find my character? I am playing Kuno, who is a troll, and he is through and through just a street thug. He, I don't want to say gets off on fighting people, because it's not a sexual thing, but he really enjoys it, and he goes out of his way to make trouble with people, and he's all about hand to hand, in your face, make you watch him beat the shit out of you type of person.
Okay. Sounds good. And there's a empty panel over that way. Mila, unfortunately, is not going to be able to join us for Shadowrun. She's had some things come up and just conflicting schedules and whatnot. So I am going to... I don't know how I'm going to handle this, because she was you guys' face. And the one that was making all the deals for you. So I think I'm just going to play your face contact. And he's not going to... He won't be somebody that you guys meet in person. You just you have his contact in your comm links. And he contacts you for jobs, and you do them. And usually he pays you. So you continue to do the jobs that he contacts you about. And I think that's just the way that we'll go about doing that. All right, so the one last question for you guys. The game that we're going to play is going to be set in Seattle. So the question is, are you from Seattle? Is your character from Seattle?
No. Mine's not.
Is your character currently in Seattle?
Yeah. But she's not from around there.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. Are you in Seattle for work or for pleasure?
Yes.
Were you there for a vacation or were you there for a job?
Job.
A job?
Yep.
About Rojan and HP Fox. What about your characters?
I'm there because I want to be there.
Okay, so are you have you spent a lot of time in Seattle and you've moved there now, or are you there because you're vacationing and just spending some time there?
I'm there because I live there now,
Okay.
just because it is the location of one of my favorite bars. So
Right.
instead of having to like keep on spending money on traveling back and forth, I just decided to move to the hole.
Okay. And this move is recent.
Yes.
Okay. How about you, HP Fox?
I'm thinking I'm probably from Seattle, and I'm still there just because I can't really be bothered to go anywhere else.
Okay. And you guys do me a favor and roll 20 and change your names, or add your character names so I know whose character is who.
Okay.
I thought I did that.
You did not.
I am a horrible person.
I'm not sure that has anything to do with you changing your name, but sure. All right. So in that case, each of you probably get a very similar phone call from, I gotta give my character a name now, Droverson. From Droverson. Droverson, from his voice, you can tell is a rough kind of. He relies on his intimidation more than he relies on his charm to get you good jobs. He's more likely to beat the details of a good job out of somebody than he is to persuade them to give it to him charmingly. So you get a call, and you've just got. Yep.
I have a question. Is Droverson an orc?
He's a dwarf.
Or a troll?
He's a dwarf.
Oh, okay. So I like him even more now. Straight to the point, beats information out of people.
Pretty much. You've never met him in person. You just have a contact in your comm for him, and when he calls, it's usually about a job. And you've just wrapped up whatever job you were currently on, and you're ready to go home, relax, spend some of your hard-earned nuyen. It's about noon, so you're just beginning to kind of get up and around for the day, and your comlink buzzes, and it's Droverson's icon on the comlink.
What is Droverson's icon?
Droverson's icon is a red eye and an eye patch, like side by side.
Okay.
Are you all answering, or is anybody ignoring? Or all right,
I decided to screw with him a little bit, and I let it ring for a little bit longer before I answer the phone.
Okay. And he, as soon as you pick up, he says, "Hey," or actually, it's the group of you, so it's all four of you on the comm. He says, "Hey, I've used each of you in the past for various jobs, and I wouldn't be calling you up if I didn't have something for you. Since you're in Seattle, whether it be for work or play, I have a friend there who needs some help. He's got a lot of connections, and well, the job's personal. He'll pay you if you play it straight with him. Meet him at the Big Rhino at 1 o'clock. His name is William McAllister. Ask for him at the door." And then Droverson just hangs up.
All right. Well, since this is promising work,
Promising.
I just hop on my chopper and take off down towards the club.
Okay. So the Big Rhino is actually, it's an orc-themed restaurant. Everything that comes out that is served is in orc proportions. So generally the hamburger weighs about 5 pounds there.
Jesus.
That sounds amazing.
It's also the entrance to, or one of the kind of public entrances to the Orc Underground, which is a section of Seattle that is, all right, underground. There are some parts of the Orc Underground are business tourist areas that are built up and they actually have buildings. Some of the sections and tunnels are carved out of stone, and you have to like literally squeeze through them. So it just kind of depends on the area of the Orc Underground that you're in. When you walk into the Big Rhino, as you all get there, actually, I guess Rojan's on his chopper arriving. How are Mal and Kuno getting there?
Kuno's probably gonna follow on his own bike.
Okay, well, your characters haven't been met yet, so you're just going to go there on your bike. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Other than a brief group comm call. Okay, so you're going to follow on your bike. What about Mal?
We all have bikes. This is awesome. She's also heading there on her bike, but she's parking a ways away and walking the rest of the way because no.
Okay. So being a little bit more discreet about it?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you walk into the Big Rhino, the place looks like it's been hit by a gang. There's scraps of food and trash are strewn all over the place. The staff is picking up overturned chairs and benches, cleaning up broken glasses and plates. There are only a few customers still here, and as you approach the hostess, who's an attractive young female orc, she apologizes for the mess and explains that they've just finished up the lunch rush and are still cleaning up.
Do we all make it there at the same time, or are we coming in one by one?
Yeah, you're all not terribly far from it. I'd assume that you, just to speed things along, that you all kind of enter as a group. Just to make everybody's life easier.
Yeah.
Just looking around the place, getting a feel for it, kind of respecting that the orcs really, don't tend to pride themselves on table manners. I look up to the waitress and I'm like, I'm here to see McAllister. First name William.
She nods and kind of gestures over her head towards a table at the back wall.
I thank her and I just make my way towards the back wall.
All right, what about the other two of you?
Probably just gonna wander in and just start wandering around until I see either people that I recognize or people that I can semi-safely or assume the ones that I'm meeting.
Okay. Well, the when you try to move past the hostess, she looks at you. She says, "Can I find you a table?"
I'm gonna ignore her and keep going.
All right. So you're just kind of walking around looking for people that may look like they're runners?
Yeah.
Okay. Rojan, does Bonesaw look like he's a runner?
Bonesaw looks like he's a part of a motorcycle gang.
Okay.
Like he's got a full on like it looks kind of goofy because he's a dwarf, but he's got like the full on like road duster style thing with like the old style spike mohawk helmet.
Okay. All right, so he definitely sticks out because the other patrons, other than McAllister, that are there, look like they're there as are finishing up their lunch breaks from whatever their slave wage job is.
So I'll probably go over to his table then and just sit down like so casually that you'd have thought we've been friends for years. Just kind of injecting myself into the meeting here.
Okay. Max, what about you when you get there? What about Mal?
Mal kind of goes through the same motion, says she's looking for McAllister, and when the waitress points him out, she sees the other people just sitting over there and just kind of like, and walks over there enough of a distance that she doesn't look like she's really trying to be part of the group, but she's in earshot, and if she has a question, they'll easily hear, but she's just kind of standing a little apart.
Okay. So as you get there, and McAllister is seated at a table along the back wall, and he's got several empty glasses in front of him, all of them kind of turned upside down on the table. And the table itself and McAllister smells strongly of alcohol. He was working on about his fourth one when you walked in. His eyes are slightly red and puffy, and he looks pissed off. As you sit down, he kind of immediately dives into business. He says, look, I don't have time for a lot of introductions and pleasantries. I just need this done.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
At 9 o'clock this morning, my daughter, Rebecca McAllister, was found dead in her apartment that she was renting in the York Underground. She was staying there while she did research for a paper on both Orc history and the Underground. And between each sentence, he's taking sips of what is surely straight whiskey.
Like him even more.
The killing appears to have been the work of the Mayan Cutter, a serial killer that terrorized Seattle for over 2 years before being killed by the Knight Errant, shortly after they took over the law here in Seattle. He takes another long pull from his drink. It says 2 weeks ago, a new rash of killings began, and rumors have been circulating that the Knight Errant got the wrong guy. My job for you is to find out why my daughter was a victim and to bring the cutter back to me alive. And he scans over each of your faces. I want the fragging guy alive to make sure that he dies.
So we bring the meat in for you to slaughter. Got it.
He nods. He says, I'm willing to pay you each 8,000 nuyen for the job well done.
And once we catch the guy, where are we to deliver him to?
He slides a card across the table. He says, this is my comm link. Just call me when you've got him, and we'll arrange a meeting.
I look over to Fox. What is your character? Is he an orc?
He's a troll.
He's a troll. I look over at the troll, seeing as how he's being rather quiet.
He's just kind of ruffling through his pockets looking for something at the moment.
Well, I guess it's just me and my big silent friend here. So, when you say bring this guy in alive, can he be missing limbs?
As long as he's still breathing.
Good.
And can still feel pain. That's all I care about.
Makes my job easier.
Now you're speaking my language.
Oh, we could talk.
When needed.
Take it from a big guy like you. You specialize in punching things.
I usually let my blades do the talking for me.
Weren't we supposed to have a third? God, I hope they didn't get lost.
You just see her kind of lean in, just... That's all she does.
The meeting's over here. You afraid we're gonna bite you or something?
Well, I might.
Just stay away. Just stay away from fangs, then.
You notice every once in a while what she's doing, she's checking the door. She's paranoid.
You waiting for someone there?
Making sure no one's waiting for us.
You think this is a setup?
No.
McAllister nods in her direction. She's a smart one. Keeping an eye on the door. Rookies usually forget that. A little
Seems
bit more
a little
confidence in the
paranoid
three
to
of you.
me.
Paranoid
Yeah.
stays alive.
Anybody who's tried to get the jump on me before just winds up in bits from old Lucy.
He just kind of shrugs and like motions to the waitress to bring him another glass of whiskey. He says, he reaches into his coat pocket and pulls something out from the inside, like breast pocket, and he slides it across the table. Says this is a data file with photos of Rebecca, as well as some personal information about her background and where you can find her apartment in the underground. I'll leave you to your work. And as the waitress brings over the bottle and a fresh glass, she reaches out to pour the whiskey into the glass, and he just sets his hand on hers and takes the bottle of whiskey from her and just sits back into the booth.
Well, Bitey, Spooky, we got work to do. And I'm just gonna slip out from underneath the table and just walk out.
All right. Actually, before that's a good spot before we get to the next scene to take our first break for the night.
I do want to add that when I get up from the table, I kind of like purposely bump it up with my hip as I'm getting up and knock over all the glasses and drinks and stuff on the table and then just leave.
McAllister's got the bottle in his hand, probably taking a long swig out of it. He doesn't care. All right. Yeah, let's take our first break for the night. And you folks that are watching at home, we're just getting started diving into Shadowrun for the month of January. And we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back. Welcome back, everybody. So, something that I forgot to mention But we can just rectify it real quick with a little bit of retcon. As you get up from the table after accepting the job from McAllister, he slides a contact card across the table, and it's a little, basically like a little AR card. And he says, "This might be helpful. This is the contact information for a friend of mine that works at the Knight Errant, Tosh Adhak. Tosh worked the original Mind Cutter case and may be able to help you out with some information."
Will he be so willing to give up or give the information forward, or is this going to be like another situation where we have to grease some palms?
He shrugs. He says, "I don't know. That'll be up to Tosh."
You ain't very helpful, are you?
Hey. And he like almost brandishes the whiskey bottle at you. He says, "You lose your daughter, see how put together you are.
I ain't got a daughter, buddy.
Looking at you, it's probably a good thing."
You really want to go there?
Want to lose something?
He stands up because he's a troll too. Or excuse me, he's
Gentlemen, let's not waste perfectly good whiskey over words.
And you could see the look in his eye, like you know that you're about one word from just an open brawl right here in the middle of the restaurant.
All right. How about we table this until after the job's done?
Trolls have big ears, right?
Trolls?
Yeah.
Yes.
Grab in the ear.
Don't you dare.
Done.
How tall are you?
6'1".
Still got a solid 10 inches on you.
That's what. Never mind.
All right, how about
I wasn't saying anything.
We stop there and we just leave the restaurant.
I wasn't saying anything because I didn't want to break Mags.
Man, God damn it. All right, so you guys have kind of two leads really to start with. Here, you can go check out Rebecca's apartment in the Orc Underground, or you can go see what Tosh has for you with the Knight Errant. And those are kind of really your two leads at the moment.
So we're outside now, right?
It depends. If you guys are wanting to go to the Orc Underground first, there's an entrance to the Orc Underground from the Big Rhino. So I think that's kind of where you guys are at, is discussing how you want to approach this.
Well, I think our best bet would be to go talk to this Tosh fellow first. See what they gather on this guy, so we know what to look for in the apartment.
Or we can look at the apartment first, and when we go speak to Tosh, we can already compare notes.
I'm fine with either.
She's already started heading downstairs.
Well, I guess
our answer.
I guess the spook has spoken. Let's go.
Okay. So you guys are heading to the Orc Underground?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So there's a doorway in the back of the Big Rhino, and it's got a what do you call those things? Podium out in front of it, where there's a guy kind of dressed in leathers. He looks out of place, but he looks like if you were gonna dress up a fast food worker to look like a gang member, this is what this guy looks like. And he looks at the three of you and just kind of shies away from his podium, turns around, is messing with his comm. He knows exactly what he looks like, and he realizes that you guys are actual runners, and he's just doing his best to ignore the three of you. As you pass under, as you walk up to this doorway, and it's got this really shitty, tacky neon light above it that says Orc Underground and a big flashing arrow pointing to the door.
Oh, like it.
Well, ladies first.
Are you muted, Max? I saw you talking, but I didn't hear anything.
Oh no! Can you not hear me?
No,
Okay, we can hear you now.
Now we can hear you.
I was just quiet then. Damn.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, ladies first, just like waiting for Mag's character to go down, and like all of a sudden I just hear nothing.
As soon as you say ladies first, it's like, so then why are you still standing there?
That was bad.
I think I'm probably just going to give them both a hefty shove on the back.
Okay. As you guys pass the podium, you can see pamphlets for like Orc Underground tours that are like kind of dishevelly placed on top of the podium.
Who would tours? It's just like I just like see it like glancing over and walking down. It's like, who'd want to go on a tour of the underground?
The guy that was standing at the door turns halfway to respond just out of habit, and then realizes himself and doesn't.
Does he actually make any noise, or
no?
he's
doing his best to just ignore the three of you.
Then I will continue to ignore him.
So the Orc Underground is a kind of a unique experience in Seattle. In places, it's barely more than dirt and stone tunnels, small enough that a troll would have to stoop down to walk through them. In other places, it's a spacious caverns and were carved out several stories tall, with ornate support columns and intricately detailed mosaics along the floor. The buildings in the Orc Underground are similar, some of them being little more than caves hollowed out of the dirt, while others are several story buildings that were obviously built by skilled architects. The Underground is a maze of tunnels and streets, only about half of which are clearly marked. The map that McAllister provided you is even less helpful, since it only marks out paths that are meant for tourists. Rebecca lived in one of the residential areas which isn't on the map. Maybe one of the friendly denizens of the Underground can help you.
Quote unquote friendly?
No.
So what's the, I look back over to Mags. What is your character's name again?
Al. She never gave it though.
Okay. Well, no, I was just gonna say it like out of character, but I look over to Mags and like look around. So, Spooky, what do you give the over under on one of us getting shanked down here? I mean, tours and everything guaranteed. That's code for, let's just rob anyone foolish enough that comes down here.
Well, unless you're stupid enough to let anybody get close, I'd say it's a 0 out of 10. She starts walking.
I think once she says if you're foolish enough to let anybody get close, Kuno's probably gonna like step right up to her and just kind of put his arm on her shoulder. Yeah, you're right.
So the area of the Underground that the entrance from the Big Rhino empties out into is a large kind of commercial area. And it empties into a place that have like ramen stalls and souvenir shops, stuff that says like I survived the Orc Underground or I visited the Underground, shit like that. It's really cheesily tourist marketed stuff. And this stuff, and it's a large paved street that you're on, and the shops go on for about a block and a half, and then they kind of turn and take a U-turn and go further off into the Underground, but the road keeps going. The structures, and you're kind of walking along the general path you think will lead you to where the residential area is. The road becomes less maintained and less well taken care of. The structures move from buildings to more of kind of ramshackle, thrown together shacks, lean-tos, and just whatever could have been built with the materials at hand.
And we're still having no luck finding her place, right?
Well, you're wandering around, given a very vague map by McAllister as to where to go, but you're getting the very distinct sensation that you're probably lost.
All right. Are those weird shop stalls and stuff still around?
No, so those were only in the kind of the touristy area of the underground. And the moment that you kind of left that area, there are some shops. There are some like ramen bars and hardware shops and stuff, but they're definitely look like they're of less repute than the stuff that was around at the beginning. There are orcs and trolls and dwarves bustling about. This is still a pretty populated area. They all seem to just kind of be giving you a side eye and going about their business, though.
All right, I'm going to look around for anybody who just seems to be not really in a hustle and bustle sense, just like standing around, even if it's like a shop owner or something.
Okay, so in the corner, there's a group of about 4 orcs that are standing around, just talking amongst themselves.
Well, let's go ask for directions. And I'm just gonna slowly start walking over there, as far as my dwarf legs, or as fast as my dwarven legs can take me.
Okay. So, as you begin to walk up, you can hear a murmur from the 4 of them as they're in conversation, and then as you're about 5 feet away, one of them nods to you, and they all kind of cut quiet.
Sorry for interrupting, gents. Trying to find a family member. Maybe you know her. She's been down here a little bit. Her name is Rebecca.
All right,
Rebecca McAllister.
give me a persuasion roll.
Oh yeah, sure.
Or, well, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna ask it,
Yeah,
it's persuasion.
yeah, it's gonna be persuasion. I'm just saying that, you know, that's. I'm not good with the words. I need to find persuasion.
It should be under your skills.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Social skills, I think.
Social skills. I have performance, negotiation, leadership, intimidation, instruction, impersonation, etiquette, and con.
Con, because you're lying to them.
We can use negotiation. That'll be fine.
Okay. So I just roll.
Yep. And you're a troll, right?
No, I'm a dwarf.
Or dwarf. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't change then. 1 success. If I can find my, there we go. That's what I wanted. So you walk up to them and you ask, and they kind of look at you sideways. They're all wearing brown leather jackets, and they've all got a bright red kind of slash down on the shoulder in paint. And frag off, Topsider.
The ever-loving, or the ever-famous love of the Orc Underground. Well, guess I'll have to find the dear girl another way.
So actually, before Bonesaw kind of leaves the group, can I come up behind him, kind of staring them down, with one of my swords slung over my shoulder, and just kind of try and intimidate them visually into helping them out?
Sure.
Okay, let's see. That button, I see. Did it work? It worked.
All right. And when you walk up, they kind of look at you and they immediately stop talking to Bonesaw. Like, because there's a troll there, they're now talking to the troll. And said, the McAllister girl. Yeah, I talked to her a couple times. Sorry, I didn't realize Short Stuff there was with you.
Now, hold on there, friend. I wasn't asking you any questions. My little buddy here was. So you reply to him, not to me.
Yeah, the McAllister girl, and they completely ignore that comment. She lived down in the brownstones down a ways. What you want to do is you want to go down here to the end of the corridor, take a left. It's going to get narrow down there, so squeeze in real tight. And about 15 feet down, it'll open up again. There'll be some brownstones about a half mile past that squeeze.
All right.
I'm just gonna not really acknowledge them, but just kind of walk away after that.
Right.
I smirk at them, giving them a nod as I walk away.
They call out after you guys. Hey, watch yourselves down here, huh? I don't know why they're from Boston all of a sudden.
It's like
they're visiting family.
It's like every sort of gang member in your games is from Boston.
I don't know why. But yeah. So they give you the directions. And yeah, you guys start following them, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I think we should follow them. But I look over at Mags. Like, I think it's time for you to use those eyes of yours, Spooky. I don't really trust them much.
I kind of give him a once over, and that's kind of when I flip up my eye patch, which is a completely implanted cybernetic eye, and I start scanning them for less obvious weapons. That way I know what I'm up against if they decide to turn on us.
Oh no, they're totally armed. And not hiding it.
Beautiful. Okay.
Not bashful about it at all. One of them's got a shotgun slung across his back. The other's got 2 SMGs on his hips. One guy, you didn't see anything on him, but scanning him, you do see snap blades in his forearms.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Okay. That one's mine if things go south. The snap blade guy.
Yeah, they're not shy about it at all.
Beautiful. Okay.
So sorry, go ahead.
Let's hope it does. Let's hope it doesn't come to it. But if it does, let's have some fun. And I'm gonna, as like we round a corner, I'm gonna have I'm gonna throw out Bug Boy, which is one of my drones. He's a little fly spy.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna have him sit up on the sit up on the wall, just like keeping an eye out for anybody who may be following us.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. And then you guys are just kind of taking the directions that they gave?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the street and the pathway deteriorates as you make your way until finally you're just kind of walking on what has been carved out stone, or a stone path. And you come up to a spot where the walls have squeezed together and there's a crack in them that's been carved out just wide enough for like Kuno to like shimmy through sideways.
Grunting and complaining the entire way.
Okay. And that little path is about 5 feet long. So you're squeezed and you're just shimmying, pushing your way through it. And when you get out, you enter out into this large cavern that's not lit. You can see the glow of other lights down further in the cavern. And it's casting enough for you to be able to make out, like, it's casting enough light to where you guys are to be able to make out, like, grayscale shapes, but not really get a whole lot of detail.
All right. When we get through there and it's super dark, I'm going to activate my thermal vision.
Okay. And now I get to remember how I do this. So you guys empty out in this. The first thing that happens is a smell hits you, and it smells like refuse. And you're guessing that you may be in a junkyard area or a dumping ground kind of area. And you can hear things scurrying around in the refuse around you. When you flip your eyes down, you can see that there are 3 devil rats, which are, if you think of like New York rats, only like 4 times as big.
So the size of dogs.
The size of small, medium-sized dogs.
Beagles.
Corgis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About right.
So now I get to remember how we do this. All right. So combat. Because they are not happy that you just kind of walked and stomped through their nest. All right. Remember how we do turn orders for Shadowrun. So there's an initiative-like thing, if I remember right. And I have stats for the creatures. It would be super helpful if the book had... Hey, this is a... Oh, there's combat. I was like, I'm sure there's a combat chapter in here somewhere. Roll initiative. Okay. So you guys should actually have initiative on your character sheets somewhere.
Yeah. Physical, astral, and matrix initiative, which is on the main
Okay.
tab.
So it is physical initiative.
Okay.
I can't do that.
I'm gonna try it, see what happens.
There you go. 12, 13.
Uh,
And what we're going to end up with is me opening Notepad and doing it that way. That's cool. So we have Kuno, Mal, Bonesaw, and there are, let's do 2 of these, and their initiative is 10. So rat 1, rat 2. Alright. We'll just do it that way. Alright, so you can see these things begin to kind of come towards you very slowly. Fangs bared. Or not fangs, but teeth bared. As they're kind of slinking up, trying to kind of flank and get behind you a little bit. Kuno.
Is there room now for me to like maneuver normally?
Yeah, so you got out of that cavern, or out of that squeeze, and you're into another cavern now, and that's kind of where you find yourself in this refuse with these rats.
Okay. I think I'd probably just like run towards one and try and kick it like a soccer ball.
Okay.
I assume that would be an unarmed attack.
It would be an unarmed attack.
Now let's see if I put weapons incorrectly on my sheet. Hit the button, see what happens.
4. All right, and so the way that Shadowrun combat works, at least, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm remembering this correctly, is that you roll your attack and I roll a number of d6s equal to your target's body and or armor, and then it's a kind of whoever has more successes wins, if I remember correctly.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to make sure, so that's what I'm looking for right now, because it has been a while since I've played, but that's what I remember. I'm looking for how we resolve these things. Okay. I could be completely wrong, because you may be just having to get over their armor penetration. I'm trying to remember. If anybody out there has played Shadowrun, please speak up, because I'm having a hard time remembering. Damn it. I don't need elemental damage, I just want regular combat stuff. Okay. Alright, so you declare the attacker declares an attack as part of their actions. The defender also declares what method he is using to defend. A standard defense test is reaction plus intuition. It's free. For a price, the defender can choose to dodge, parry, block, or go on full defense. The attacker rolls combat skill plus attribute plus or minus modifiers, which is what you just did there and got 4 successes. The defender rolls reaction plus intuition plus or minus modifiers. And then, let's see. Complete the results to the hits of the attacker. If the attacker scores more hits than the defender, then the attack hits the target. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I was right. So it is a contested roll. And let's see. These things are...
So it sounds kind of similar in how the mouse guard system worked with contesting rolls and stuff.
Yeah. It's reaction and intuition, 5 and 5. So 10. All right, so 10d6 greater than 6, I think will work. Yep. And so 3 successes there. So all right, so you do connect, and what's the damage on that?
That is a good question.
DV should be your damage from Chummer. If you still happen to have Chummer.
I can open it very quickly.
All right. If you guys are wondering why the fuck we're floundering through the rules, that's kind of what we do for this show. We pick a new game every month and play it. Generally one we've never played before. I happen to have run Shadowrun several years ago. And by several, I mean like, I don't know, 10? Maybe not 10. Maybe 5. But it's been a little while. So I'm refreshing myself, and this is our first session, actual play session. Last session was character creation. So this is the first time we're actually doing combat. So that's why we're kind of floundering with the rules, figuring it out, and why you hear me reading out of the rule book.
Okay, so damage, Chummer says it's 8S.
Okay. So it's, I don't know why.
I think that's slashing.
You just have, this is an unarmed attack, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why it would be S. It should be P. It should be physical. That's weird. Because the damage types in Shadowrun are physical, spiritual, and matrix. So I don't know why that would be spiritual. All right, so 8, and then its body is 2. So it goes flying. You kick this thing, and you can hear it fly through the air and hit on some metal refuse in the background, and you just this sick thunk, and it just like falls into the ground. Mal.
After doing that, I'm going to turn around to the rest of them and be like, "What? Nobody's going to yell goal? Come on!"
And I'm actually going to move hybrid a little bit too.
It was a kick. Got to be a little more. You got to do a little bit more to impress me.
Yeah, that's better. All right. So what's Mal doing?
So I am going to just stab one of these things right to the top of its skull because I don't feel like playing with it. I want it done and over with.
Okay.
So what do I need to do?
So on your character sheet under your weapons, you should have an attack option or a dice button off to the right of the weapon. Just hit that, and that'll roll, and that tells us if you hit or not. Well, and then I'll roll a contested roll, and that'll tell us if you hit.
I don't have anything put in.
The worst. No, it's fine.
I know.
So,
okay. Sorry to interrupt, but
no
the S. I was looking at the two things. The S stands for stun. So unarmed is stun, because I noticed for my shot gloves it's SE, and on the character sheet it's stun electric. So
that makes more sense. I was wondering, but spiritual jumped out at me. So because you do have attacks that are like magic based that will do like drain damage to mages and stuff. So that's why I was thinking spiritual. But that makes more sense because
I mean, I've got it. Sorry.
No worries.
I was gonna say I've got it right here, so I can import it over real quick. It's just
that's why I was talking to give you a chance to move it over.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
But yeah, because you guys aren't running mages, and because mages in every single game are a pain in the ass, don't worry about magical stuff. Yeah, as a player and as a game master DM, don't like dealing with mages, to be honest. Because generally, I haven't found a game that does magic that's not super clunky and a whole shit ton of stuff to keep up with. If any,
So the mode and reach. Put in that little thing.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Just roll.
Yep.
Okay. Situational modifiers?
Because it's a called shot, you get a -1.
Okay, so -1. Okay. Okay.
No successes.
Thanks.
I'm not even going to worry about rolling for the rat. So you bring your knife down, and it just kind of, it sees you coming and scurries between your legs. Bonesaw.
All right, I'm not even going to try to get physical with them. I'm going to pull out my revolver and just, fire off a shot at one of them.
All right, well, there's only one left, so.
Oh, well, there we go. Do I need any situational modifiers, or I just roll this thing?
No, just roll it, because she was aiming specifically for the head, which was a called shot, so she got a minus on hers.
Okay.
5 successes, all right. And so you definitely hit, so what's the damage?
The damage is 8.
That'll do it. So you hit this thing, and the shot from the gun echoes out, bouncing off all the metal and stone around you guys, and the rat goes flying and spinning across the floor of the cave.
Pest control.
I think Kuno's probably just going to be standing there staring at Mal like, what the hell was that?
I don't do up close and personal.
You're going to have to learn one of these days.
So you guys continue off, and the refuge only goes for another like 5 feet or so before it kind of empties out into this cavern. Still not a whole lot of light, but you can see kind of the glow from down the way. And it takes you about 10 minutes to walk down to where you end up with another paved street and an actual sidewalk and what looks to be a residential area within the Orc Underground. And they're kind of standing outside of one of the apartment buildings. Is a group of orcs and trolls blocking off a building that has some police tape in front of, like, over the door. And looking at it and looking at kind of the info files that McAllister gave you, you're guessing this is probably the right spot. The orcs standing out in front of it are wearing brown coats and brown coats with kind of gray pants, and they all have that red sash or slash down the sleeve. And as you walk up, they all look over at Kuno and tell him, a little bit out of your element, aren't you, Topsider?
Not at all. Your friends back there told us to come this way.
Oh yeah? How come?
I don't think that's any of your business.
And the three of them that had been leaning kind of against the railing and kind of against the walls of the building straighten up. And you see one of the orcs who's standing out in the back. And he's bigger than the rest of them. And he kind of cracks his neck and looks over at you. And he says, "This is our turf. These are the places that we protect. Anything that goes on here is our business."
Well, then maybe you should head back to your friends and ask them why we're here. I ain't gonna tell you.
Then I don't guess you're going any further, friend.
You gonna stop me?
He unslings a shotgun from his back. Yeah, if I have to.
How close are they to one another?
I don't know how close is Kuno getting to these guys.
That depends on whether or not he's pointing the shotgun at me.
He's not pointing it at you. He's holding it down. He's got some good trigger control. So the barrel's pointed at the ground at the moment.
Okay, so right now I'm probably between 10 and 15 feet from them, I would imagine.
Okay, I call out. Pokey, just take a couple steps back. Let's not offend these gentlemen too much.
They weren't offended so easily, it wouldn't be a problem.
Yes, but we are on their turf. I mean, let's have a little bit of respect for
Hey,
the home team.
I was born here. This whole city's my turf.
Look, just take a couple steps back, okay?
All right. Calm yourself, little man.
All right, and as soon as he's out of range, I fire a grenade into them.
All right. Find their stats real quick. Hang on.
Woof.
4 and 4. All right. That was the wrong. Changed the wrong modifier there. Ignore that completely. That was.
I was like, wow, what are these D4s you speak of?
We changed the wrong modifier. That was supposed to be a 4. There we go. They're not doing very well.
It's a grenade. What are you expecting?
So should I roll the grenade then?
Yeah.
It's from the grenade launcher.
What kind of grenade was it?
Fragmentation.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and roll it. 4 successes. I don't think any of them got 4 successes. Nope. Okay. What's the damage on it?
It just says grenade. Is all it says.
All right, hang on.
Like, I even looked on my Chummer character sheet, but it doesn't have any damage stats for a fragmentation grenade.
It should have street gear. Where is blades, clubs, projectile weapons?
Yeah, because it says damage grenade.
Throwing weapons. Yeah, I'm looking. Hang on.
So grenade fragmentation, at least on my sheet, it says 18p. And it has an F and -1/M, so I assume that goes down by 1 per meter.
Yep. And they also have armor, which is going to absorb a good chunk of that, luckily. So it was 18.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I like when I'm looking at my grenades, all it says is 11F.
okay.
It doesn't say anything about 18M or whatever.
So the grenade goes off, and when the rubble kind of clears and the smoke clears from the explosion, 3 of the 4 are standing there, or excuse me, are laying there on the ground, kind of stunned. Not dead, because they've got their body armor's definitely been torn to shreds. The one that's still standing was the one that was holding the shotgun. And he's just kind of got this smirk on his face. All right, so
Go get him, Stabby.
What's their initiative? Hang on. His initiative is...
Oh, do we got to roll initiative now?
Yes. So
Okay,
the way initiative works is I was just thinking it through. You roll the number of dice for your initiative. That's actually what it should have
Yeah.
been. So let's see. And then he's got... Fucking really? I guess he's a little stunned from that grenade. All right, so we have Kuno, and then we have Mag's not rolling hers. Okay, so we have Kuno, and then we have Mags, and then we have Bonesaw, and then we have this guy.
I was gonna say maybe he's smirking, but maybe he's just stunned stupid.
All right, HP Fox, what's Kuno doing?
So I think probably as soon as the grenade went off, Kuno started to kind of walk in their direction. So he would be like right up on this guy by the time the smoke cleared. And I'm just gonna like press my hand against his chest like a palm thrust, except the blade in my hand is gonna come out as I do that. That would be any situational modifiers on this.
Give you a +1 because he's stunned. Okay, and let's see. He's not really getting a reaction out of this, but he does have armor on. Alright, so... Jesus Christ, I can't roll tonight, apparently. Alright, so the blade just slices through the armor that he's wearing and goes in just kind of where you intended, between the ribs. And he looks down at your hand and he looks up at you for a moment and then he just kind of drops to his knees. He's trying to speak and there's blood pouring out of his mouth. But you can make out between the gurgles, it's like, well, I'll see you soon, Rebecca.
Dude, you don't have to be a dick.
Did we just murder her boyfriend?
Well,
Hashtag whoops.
Hashtag not my problem.
I walk up next to Kuno with the grenade launcher on my shoulders. Like, well, he was being rude to the lady present. Lucy didn't like that.
I like your style, little man.
Talk is cheap. Explosions are more fun.
I think at that point, I'm probably going to see if the guy has any like identification on him or anything like that.
No. And most people in the Orc Underground wouldn't, because they don't have sins usually. Because they're not really listed with the government agencies. Like somebody would be if they were like a corporate worker or something.
Fair enough. So in that case, I will grab his shotgun and disarm it, take any shells out of the chamber and that kind of stuff, and just toss it back down on the ground in case somebody comes up behind us, thinks it's a good idea to pick it up, and just kind of stand aside and let whoever else wants to proceed forward go.
All right. So what are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm gonna peek in I'm gonna peek in through the door just to get like a surroundings check.
Okay. So the inside of the brownstone is pretty well furnished, at least for the entrance foyer area that you kind of open it up into. There don't seem to be anybody around.
All right. At this point, I'm gonna put the grenade launcher back. I'm gonna take my shotgun out, and I'm gonna begin to head in towards Rebecca's place.
Okay. Max, what about Mal?
I am going to take the back end of this little line, and once they're in and have called it clear, I'm watching our backs before we go in.
Okay. All right, and I think that's a good scene to take our next break on. I have to make some adjustments to some things, but we'll get there. So we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, folks. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying as I reacclimate and we kind of fumble through Shadowrun a little bit. We're gonna be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back. Welcome back.
Hi.
You bunch of murder hobos.
Okay, you allowed me to be a psychotic dwarf armed to the teeth with high-powered weaponry and explosives. What did you expect was going to happen?
Bunch of murder hobos.
And I mean, in the last Mixtape game, I was like this shy little mouse that didn't hurt anybody. I have to make up for that in this game. I have to hurt everybody.
Very sad that I don't have my murder hobo emotes anymore. I mean, you could claim everything you want. I'm just gonna call you a bunch of murder hobos because you're a bunch of murder hobos. All right, so you guys walk into Rebecca's brownstone, and it's a small two-story building with 2 bedrooms on the second floor, one of which seems to have been converted into an office. There's a small bathroom on the second floor as well. The first floor is taken up by a large living room and the kitchen. From looking around the apartment, it appears that the murder took place in the kitchen, apparently as Rebecca was making breakfast, judging by the pots and pans that are set up on the stove. There are signs of a struggle and a pool of dried blood on the floor, and the kitchen table has had its contents swept into the floor and is now covered in blood as well. See
You,
what
you
else
said you said everything has been swept up.
swept to the floor, like thrown off the floor.
Oh, I got
Or thrown to the floor, rather.
I got it in my head that somebody tried to tidy up and then just gave up because there was too much blood.
Nope. Let's see. Yeah. So what are you guys doing?
Let me take a look here.
I'm kind of letting you guys take point on this one because I have like no investigative or perceptive skills whatsoever.
All right.
Me neither.
I sadly
This
do.
is gonna go well.
God damn it. Leave it to the sniper. Okay.
Well, Spooky goes and does that. I'm going to hold guard at the door with the shotgun just trained on it.
And I'm gonna investigate her fridge and cupboards and stuff, see if there's any good food I can eat.
Oh my god. Okay, so with my perception, I'm going to be obviously the signs of struggle, but where the fight looked like it started from, was this was the door broken in? Little stuff like that is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And perception?
Yeah.
Okay. Any situational modifiers?
No.
No, okay.
Okay. So you kind of pace through the apartment, tracing the steps of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a trail of blood that leads from the kitchen table where it looks like... Well, let me back that up a little bit. The kitchen table and the areas around it are drenched in blood.
So this is where first strike happened.
Yeah. And then there's a smear trail of blood from the kitchen table through the house up the stairs, as if like the body was dragged through it and up the stairs, and then out into the bedroom, and then stops at the actually, sorry, back that up again. Into the bedroom, and in the bedroom there are like large doors that push open out into a balcony. The trail of blood goes all the way out into the balcony, and there's a large pool of it on the balcony, and there are some leather straps that that have now since been cut, tied to the railings of the balcony.
She was on display. That's awful. Okay. Now, the only other thing I can think to question, would I be able to tell, okay, so the front door was not broken into?
Nope.
Like there's no sign of forced entry?
There's not.
Okay. So that would lead me to think she knew her assailant because she let them in. Is there any other means of getting into the apartment?
No.
Okay.
So these brownstones are back against the cavern wall.
Okay.
So there's no back door, backyard, or anything.
Okay. So she knew her assailant. That's that narrows it down actually. Probably haven't. From the blood spatter and everything in the kitchen, did this look like it was from a gunshot, from a knife stabbing?
From a stabbing, there's no like spray residue of blood or anything. There's no bullet holes or anything. But you can.
Well, if it helps, I also have medical training.
Okay.
But from the sheer amount of blood that it sounds like you're explaining, it sounds like he hit an artery.
Do you have, is history a skill in Shadowrun? I can't remember.
Probably, but I don't think I put anything into it.
I'm looking. see if you can think of something here. You've got first aid. There's not really a history.
I've got first aid and I've got medical, like medicine.
Oh, there's knowledge. What do you have in knowledge?
Oh God.
It's down at the bottom. That's right.
Anatomy, blade design, classical music, combat tactics, and firearms.
Okay. Does anybody have any history for Seattle or the Orc Underground?
I have street gangs in Seattle.
Okay. Rojan, was that a no from you?
That's
okay.
a no.
All right. Yeah, so from looking at the area around the table and everything, she definitely bled a lot. Although it's not clear if it was from one wound or from several.
I'll have to see the body.
You know, I have a feeling we're missing one rather important area of investigation, and it's not the fridge. So
Cupboards, isn't it?
I'm gonna take my larger drone out, and I'm gonna set it on kind of like a what do you call it? A standby mode. Having it watch the door to send off a little alarm if somebody tries to come in.
Okay.
And I'm going to go upstairs to her room. I'm going to start searching for like any technology or anything she may have, like computers or something.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Perception, you say?
Good luck.
Yeah.
Not that you know. You're like, eh. You know that most, and I'm going to use 4th edition rules because I don't like the way that 5th edition handles the Matrix. You know that most homes have a jack-in point for the Matrix, where somebody would plug in and do their work, but you're not finding hers.
Also, I would need to be a Decker to get into that. Thanks, Imp.
No problem. All right. What about Kuno? Is he just chowing down on whatever?
Yeah, he's probably found a snack, something out of the fridge or cupboards or whatever, and he's just kind of wandering around as he's munching on it. Does it look like she was making breakfast for herself or for herself and more people?
For herself. There's only one pan that's dirty and it's got like some half-fried eggs in it. And there's a plate, or there was a plate on the table. It's now broken in the floor, covered in blood.
Okay, so it was probably unexpected company. Whether she knew them or not, she probably wasn't expecting them to show up. That's about as perceptive as Kuno gets.
Okay. Yeah. Mags, are you doing anything? Is Mal doing anything else?
I'm investigating these straps on the balcony. Like, obviously they've been cut. Now, was she like slung over the balcony to be left hanging, or was she just tied up so she couldn't get away, or what?
Give me a perception roll again.
Okay. Go find it again, because these things are all over the place.
Yeah, they're divided up by like useful skill sets, and that's not a good way to organize them, to be honest.
Right. Okay, so no situational?
Because you've got medical, I'll give you a +1.
Yay!
Hey, Ritro. I will eventually say your name right the first time.
Ruh-roh.
So it looks like that she was tied up and slung over to be on display. As you are investigating, you notice that some of the drops of blood that are on the balcony don't match that kind of series of events. They're gravitational drops instead of like
Rather than
being
drag.
flung or dragged. Yeah.
Okay. So what I am gonna do then, now on the balconies, it's like concrete or...
Yeah, it's concrete with like an iron railing.
Okay. So then what I'm going to do is... I'm gonna go search her bathroom for some Q-tips because I'm gonna take some samples.
Okay.
And we're gonna go find a lab.
Okay. Perfect. Do any of you have a law enforcement or a fixer contact?
I have a law enforcement contact, but it's my enemy.
Probably not somebody you want to call for a favor.
Nope.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, he is a forensics expert.
Probably
I'll tell you
somebody
what, he doesn't have
want.
to know we're associated.
And I apparently didn't fill in any contacts whatsoever.
Hashtag whoops.
Kuno knows no one.
I mean, if this is a question that that Mags brings up, I couldn't groan and say I know a guy, but I hate his guts.
It's so getting brought up because I need a lab.
All right, but I ain't going with you. And my name, you don't bring my name up because he'll probably try to arrest you just for being in association with me. The guy has a hard on trying to like convict me of any crime in the city anytime there's a minuscule explosion. A cook can mislight an oven and it blows up and somehow it's my fault. I'm the first guy brought in.
She immediately just looks down and he's like, you slept with his wife, didn't you?
No.
This goes back to...
No. I think I shot his dog. I can't really remember.
You sure that wasn't Kuno?
I mean,
Don't
it could
you dare
have been.
put that on me.
I mean, it could have been.
I don't use guns. It was not me.
Yeah, just go to the station, ask for fuck. I can't fucking talk this week.
Mike Wazowski.
Kowalski.
I was gonna say Kowalski because it sounded like you were gonna say colonoscopy. I was like, yeah, I think I'll pass on this lab test. I think I'm good.
No, he's some big shot forensics guy. As much as he tries to peg everything on me, but just don't bring my name up.
I don't even know your name.
That's probably a good thing.
Okay. So you're taking a sample of the blood via Q-tip.
I'm taking a couple of samples. That way we can compare. It's like rule out, okay, this is hers, this is whatever this is, and just make sure that there's no room for error.
Okay.
So I'm taking multiple samples.
Okay, and are you just sticking the Q-tips in your pocket, or what?
Oh, no. She's got a kitchen, so there's probably some equivalent of saran wrap, so each Q-tip is getting individually wrapped.
Okay.
Since I don't have the little SVU vials and shit.
Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking this through. Okay. No, because that's good. All right. So you guys have the blood samples. Are you doing anything else in the apartment?
I come back down and retrieve my drone, and it's like, well, there was nothing upstairs in regards to electronic diaries or anything like that. There are maybe some books, but I don't have time to read those.
Probably looking for something to drink in the fridge.
Okay. What about Mel?
I am gonna go ahead and follow up on this Kowalski person real quick. And at least drop them off and have Dude Bro give me a call once he's got some results, and then we can, while he's doing that, we go to our next spot.
I was gonna say while you're chatting him up, me and Fox can go and talk to this Tosh guy.
Perfect. I'll go to the lab. I will meet y'all there.
All right. So are you gonna call Kowalski up on your comm link ahead of time, or are you just showing up at his office?
I'm just showing up at his office.
Okay.
It's better when they don't know I'm coming.
All right. Well, as you guys kind of get all your stuff together and get ready, and you open the door to the front of the brownstone, there, standing outside of it around their dead brothers, is a large group of orcs, all wearing that same brown and gray with the red slash down the sleeve, and all of them heavily armed.
Okay. I just act like it's nothing, and I continue on my way.
Yeah, me too.
Right,
I don't even really look at them.
The moment that you guys step down the brownstone towards their direction, they draw their arms and they look at you and go, "Who's responsible?"
Yo, they were like that when we got here. I mean, it's not completely implausible. It's the underground. People, probably, jump each other all the time.
They shake their heads. No, they were here guarding that house. You're in the house. Means
Yes.
you did this.
That's a huge conclusion you're jumping to. When we got here, they were like this. Somebody else could have jumped them.
Nah.
What would we need to do, or why would we need to kill them?
Don't know, don't care. You're where they were guarding. They're dead, you're not. Tells me you were involved.
Look. You might be right. You might be wrong. I'm sticking with my little friend here. They were like this when we got here, and I can prove it to you. They had something on them that could be an indication as to who killed them. And I'm going to reach into my jacket pocket, and as I do, I'm going to kind of glance at Bonesaw and give my head a little nod in the get the fuck out of here direction. And I'm going to keep my hand in my jacket until I kind of approach their leader guy. And I'm going to pull out a high explosive grenade. Pull the pin. let go of the handle part on it and just place it in his hand and book it.
Yep, same thing.
So the moment that the grenade comes out, he jumps forward onto you. Actually, give me a reaction roll. Let's see if this works first.
What would that
That's
be here?
in main.
It should be one of your core
Main.
stats, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yes, there it is. Okay. Situational modifiers?
None.
Wait, the drone that I had situated outside didn't warn me that this is happening?
The way you described it, I thought it was inside watching the door for anybody to open
That's
the door.
what I understood too.
No. The one that I threw outside. The little flybot that I
was
set up.
way back there. Wasn't it? That was at the cave where you guys were at.
Yeah, I had it set up to let me know if those guys decided to come in.
Yeah, it's not the same guys.
Oh, okay. Well then, I guess I can't berate one of my drones for not doing its job.
Let's see. 3 and okay. Let's see if I don't roll like shit this time. All right, that's better. So yeah, so he smiles as he sees the grenade in your hand, and grabs your hand in his, and just kind of throws himself on top of you. And the moment that he does, the other 5 that are standing there begin to open fire at Mal and at Bonesaw. So I need reaction rolls from you guys.
Okay.
So you pulled the pin on this already, right?
Yep, I sure did.
I'm assuming it's got a little clasp that hasn't been let go of yet.
Yeah, if he put his hand over mine, I assume he probably would have done it with that roll before I actually let go of it.
Okay.
Situational modifiers?
Where is reaction? Is that a
one of your
skill?
core
It's
stats.
your core. It's on your main sheet.
Core stats.
Situational modifiers. I'm gonna give you a -1 because you're gonna be kind of caught off guard that they're just opening fire at you.
Oh, Lance.
Do I have that modifier since I was already booking it?
Yeah, because all this happened at the same kind of moment. Because he nodded to you, and then the guy grabbed his hand, and they opened fire.
Apply wounds? No, I'm
you
not
shouldn't have any
wounded.
wounds.
Okay. So no. Goodbye.
Okay. And let's see, their stats for this is gonna be. There's predators 4. Okay, so it's. Actually, let me look at something real quick. Getting used to remembering what stats go into this stuff. Agility. Okay. So 4 and 4, 8. All right. And everybody would probably like to see that roll. All right, so Mags, you don't get hit by this at all. Rojan, what's your armor rating?
14.
14. Okay. And there's Predator. All right, so you're not going to take any damage from it, but you feel the hit as like a slug enters your shoulder or hits your shoulder, kind of spinning you a little bit.
Okay. Do I make it enough down the alleyway that I can like use a corner for cover?
It's a pretty wide open street. There's not really any corners because it's just like you guys came into that cavern and you walked down a little bit and it was just kind of there where the road just kind of picked up and then you had the brownstones off to the side.
All right. So if I were to throw out my large drone, do I have to control that with my deck or is it just an AI?
You have to control it with your deck unless you've got. I don't think there's an AI installed.
Okay.
Ritro, yeah, she's just had a scheduling conflict come up at the last moment and is unable to join us. So we've got the AFK screen, and then I'm going to go back and redo the overlays because she's not going to be able to make it this month, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think the drones have an AI. There's something that has to be piloted.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. So I'm not going to stand out in the middle of combat, out in the middle of the street here, and open range of everything trying to pilot this thing.
All right. So everybody, go ahead and give me your initiatives.
Okie dokie.
I'll do you guys, and then we'll do the gang members.
Zhba.
15. Oh. And 8, and then there's where 6. Okay. 6. I wish I could do just like times 6 and have it tell me how many successes I ended up if I do this 6 times, but somebody's got a 1.
It's telling me that I don't have a token selected, but there's no tokens.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. We can still see your roll and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It just doesn't add it to the. It doesn't add it to the initiative.
The
board.
tracker,
There was
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Okay, no, I was just wondering because I never see Fox's rolls.
I do.
Really? I do.
I don't see any of Fox's.
Oh, his is whispered to me for some reason.
Oh,
And since Rose also a DM, okay.
Oh, am I whispering it to you as well?
No, I see yours.
No,
Okay.
you're not. HP Fox's is.
But I would imagine Rojan can see Fox's because you're also a DM.
Terrible fucking rolls
So.
tonight. All right.
Actually, looking at it, no, I can't see any foxes.
now
Dadgummit.
why is that happening?
There might be a check mark box.
Secret collusion rolls over here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in the settings that would do that.
Weird. Okay. So Kuno, you are there pinned to the ground with this orc on top of you, holding your hand closed around this grenade.
So I'm just going to kind of smirk at him, and I think this would probably be a strength check. I want to contest him to try and open my hand.
Okay.
Not trying to push him off, not trying to throw a grenade anywhere, just open my hand so the timer starts.
Yep, go ahead and give me a strength roll.
Now, would my cybernetic arms add anything to the modifiers?
Which ones do you have?
Let's see, what did I put in here? They are beta wear, obvious, full arm, left and right.
Okay. Biotech, maybe? I'm looking. No, it's going to be augmentation. There we go. That's all headwear, bone lancing, eyewear, earwear, bodywear. These are not muscle replacements, right? They're just cybernetic arms?
Yeah, it's like full arm replacements.
Cyber limb enhancements. Gyro mount. Full arm. Essence capacity cost. Don't believe it gives you a benefit to it unless you took the muscle enhancement. It's just a replacement arm, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. And I did not take the enhancement, so that will be a 0 for modifiers, I assume?
Yep.
That is not east. That is totally the west.
Alright, 1 success there, and he's got a strength of 7.
It's still
Whispering, yeah.
it's still whispering.
Wise. All right, let me look at your sheet real quick. Hang on. So you are gonna pass that test.
Fantastic.
Oh, you know why? It's because you have GM roll clicked at the top.
Oh, I didn't even see that up there.
Yeah, if you just click that, if you unselect it, it'll make everything public. Luckily, everybody on the stream can see it, so it's fine.
That's what matters.
Yes.
So you got.
Because if chat can't see it, something's wrong.
You have a success where you're beginning to push his hands open, or your hand open.
Yeah.
See, can I get rid of? No. Okay. Sorry, I was messing with something on screen there. With the grenade kind of beginning its timer.
That's the idea.
And it's 3 seconds, generally, for a grenade, I think.
I think that's the kind of standard, as far as I know, anyway.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with grenades.
What kind of grenade is it?
It is a high explosive grenade.
I think it was on a 3-second timer from what I saw when I grabbed those for out of the character thing.
Okay. Let's just get, I'm not even gonna mess with it. Okay, and a round is 6 seconds if I'm just using D&D rules. So you guys have about a half a round, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 actions. All right. All right, Mal, what are you doing?
All right. I'm gonna take one of my kukiri knives and I'm aiming for one of these ugly fraggers right in the skull.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Called shot's gonna give you a -1 modifier.
Okay. Boop. Now that I actually have it in there properly, -1.
Action.
Jibit.
All right, 2 successes. Theirs is going to be 6. 1 success. All right, so it hits, and let's see. We're ignoring armor because it's hitting him in the skull. What's the amount of damage?
Oh shit. I gotta look at the thing. I think it's a equipment. DV.
It says 3 on that roll.
Yeah. It's
Yep.
a 3.
Okay, so it hits him and he recoils, and he's got this slash now that's bleeding profusely, running just under his eye, where that Curie hit him. All right, Bonesaw.
All right, so the leader is now off of Fox, right?
No, they're still on the ground. HP Fox was just able to open his hand. Or,
all right.
Excuse me. Blah blah. Character Kuno.
Kuno. Okay, well I'm gonna take the revolver. I'm gonna put a round into the leader.
Okay.
Let's make it a headshot.
Call shot.
Please don't miss, because my head is right there too.
-1, right?
-1. Okay. Let's see. And this guy, his body's a little, or his stats are a little different. Hang on. And
I roll 12d6 and get 3 successes.
all right. So what's the damage on that? It's 8.
No, it's 9. No, it's 8. It's 8
8.
because I'm not using any special.
Armor 6, so he takes 3 damage off of that. So you fire the gun and you can hear the bullet ricochet off of metal as it pierces his skin, and you can see now blood-covered plating under his skin.
Cheater.
And his head jerks and hits the ground hard, and he is stunned for a second, so his grip loosens a little bit further on the grenade. And it is one of their turns. Let's see, I've got 2 of you now. All right, Mal. Let's see. We have, what are they carrying?
I don't want it.
Carries Predator 4.
I don't want it.
Sorry, I'm having to toggle back and forth between stuff. Where is gear listing? There we go. Ares Predator. Okay. And they're gonna roll 4 and 3. Okay, 7. All right, 1 success. Go ahead and roll your. So it's your agility plus your reaction.
Oh god. Okay, so how do I make that work?
Sorry, it's just gonna be. I think on these sheets. Let me look at. I'm gonna take a peek at your sheet real quick.
Do you roll armor, or is it?
No,
reaction?
armor is for soaking damage.
Oh, okay.
When something actually hits.
Gotcha.
So when, like with that pistol shot, because it hit, it did 8 damage, but because he's got the metal plating in his head, it didn't actually take him out completely.
Gotcha.
So it's going to be.
I have a 6 in reaction and a 4 in agility.
So they have it labeled as a surprise, but it's your reaction and your intuition together, which is what the challenge rating is. So just use your surprise for that.
So it's still 6 and 4. Okay. Okay. I got you. Situationals?
None.
None. Okay.
All right. So he takes a shot with you with his Ares Predator, but you're able to just kind of see it coming, knowing, like being a sniper, knowing what it looks like when somebody is lining up a shot, and able to just kind of weave out of the way so that it misses. And in that moment that the bullet goes whizzing by your head, I guess there's going to be an explosion. Because this is half a round. What's the damage on those grenades, HP Fox?
That is a good question. Where's my equipment? It is 16.
All right, what's your armor? because you're not dodging it.
My armor is 21.
All right, so 5 of that is gone. These are high explosives.
High explosive, yep.
Everybody, or not everybody. Well, I guess everybody. Bonesaw and Mal, give me your surprise rolls. Because it's the same stats that I need. Even though it says surprise.
I thought I was out of there, but okay.
Well, it's a high explosive.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
So,
It's a high X. It's got a huge range.
yeah.
No situational.
Tempted to be mean and tell you -1 because you don't know when it's going to go off, but I'll be nice. No situational.
Okay.
3 and 2. It is getting dampened by the orc laying on top of it. Actually, I'm also going to make...
Sandwich.
So I don't think you guys are going to take any damage, although HP Fox, I think Kuno is going to take damage because you're right there and the blast doesn't have anywhere to go because it's sandwiched between you two.
Yeah.
And so you said it was 16 damage?
Yes.
All right. I think I'm going to double that because that blast is just compacted between the two of you. And you have how much armor?
21 armor. And also, is there any kind of roll for, at least in this scenario, any kind of roll for damage resistance?
So your armor is generally your damage resistance. And the way that damage works in Shadowrun is damage has to get through your armor and then hit you, basically, to actually do damage to you. Okay.
Because I have the toughness quality, which it says that I gain a +1 dice pool modifier to body rolls when making damage resistance tests.
Right.
So I don't know when that comes into play.
So that'll come into trauma, which is what we're getting ready to do.
Okay.
So because you have this grenade go off, basically pinned to your chest, your hand's definitely gone. So that's part of that trauma. But you've got a cybernetic hand anyway, so it doesn't matter. You're not like bleeding profusely from it.
Not really that worried about it.
It is going through your armor. And you said you had armor of 16?
Of 21.
Of 21. It's doing 16 damage. But because you're pinned, I'm adding to that. 21, 16 twice, 32. 21 is 9 points of damage. What's your body?
My body is 9.
Okay. So you're incapacitated. What happens is the grenade goes off, and because that force doesn't have anywhere to go, a couple of things happen. The orc laying on top of you gets flung back against the cavern wall across the street, basically. Your arm, probably up to the elbow, is blown off. And the concussive force of that grenade going off on your chest, that shockwave stops your heart for a moment, and you're incapacitated.
Okay.
Now, does it stop it just for a moment, or has it like completely stopped it?
That's a good question. Roll your body for me, HP Fox. Roll around on the floor. Roll your body.
Yeah.
Now, is that going to add that +1 from the toughness, or no?
Yes, with the +1 from the toughness.
Okay. Sorry if I just screwed you, HP Fox. I was just wanting to know if that was. I just want to know as a clarification as if it like just stopped it briefly, because I don't know how the system works in.
It's up to me.
Okay.
3 out of 10. That's a third. I'll let you have it. So he's not dead. He's not dying. He is knocked unconscious from the blast. Probably suffering a little bit of internal trauma. You don't have like augmented skeletal bones or anything, do you?
I don't.
Okay.
I do. However, I don't know if this will come into play, but I have rating 2 of high pain tolerance, which allows me to take a lot more wounds and stuff. Basically, like twice as many wounds and stuff as a normal person before actually feeling the effects of them. Okay.
So in that case, let me remember how the wounds work. Because I may be thinking of other wounds. I may be thinking of Shadowrun wounds. I'm going to mess with your character sheet for a second. or not Shadowrun, Blades in the Dark wounds. Health of 13. Okay, overflow of 12. All right, so you are going to take, what did I say, 9 damage to your health. Or, excuse me, you rolled 3 successes on your body roll, which is still getting whispered to me. I fixed that. So you're going to take 6 damage to your health, which is going to give you some physical wounds.
Okay.
But because you have the toughness perk, you can kind of ignore those. But you are still unconscious.
Okay.
All right, so the rest of the group, I need to roll. Well, yeah. Body reacted 3, 3, 6. Okay. Now I've got 4 of these guys, 5 of these guys. So hang on just a second. Let me see where they end up at.
Oof.
Okay, that guy's unconscious. That guy's fine. That guy's unconscious. That one's dazed and won't take a turn this round. And last guy is... I see a 6 and it's telling me 0 successes.
I don't see a 6.
Do you not?
I see it. I see 2, 2, 5, 1, 5, 4.
See, I've got 2, 1, 5, 5, 5, 6 on the actual table. It's just being weird.
Yeah, because I don't see it on the screen either.
Yeah. All right. So that one is unconscious as well. All right. So we've got one guy that is dead. One guy that's unconscious. The next guy. All right. So he is going to 1d2. Magsure 1. Rojan's 2. Rojan, he's going to take shots at you.
Do I get bonuses for being short?
Don't think so. Let's see. 4 there. And 4 there. So 8. Okay. Not greater than 4. I fucked that up. It should be greater than 6. It's still 2 successes. That's fine. Night Renaissance. Thanks for stopping by, man. Alright, so you got 2 successes, so you want to roll your reaction and intuition, which is the surprise roll. And you want more than 2 successes.
No.
Alright, so you are going to get hit with the shot from the Ares Predator. Damage on that is over here, and it is 8 piercing. What's your armor?
14.
Okay.
Well,
So
total armor or like the armor where it hit me?
the armor minus the armor damage you took earlier.
Did I take armor damage earlier?
Well, you took a shot earlier, didn't you? That your
It
armor
didn't do
soaked?
damage. It didn't do damage though. You said.
Okay. All right. So your armor soaks it. So if it can compile and go through that armor, then you can take damage eventually. So now
Okay.
pay attention that you took 8 damage to that armor.
Okay.
Let's not worry about the earlier one.
So, okay. So for where the rating's at, that's where I'm going to change it then.
Yep.
Okay. So
It's essentially your armor's durability.
yeah. Well, that hurt.
All right, and the other guy is dazed, so he's out of commission for this round of combat. Hey, Bubber, how are you doing, sir? And we are good to go. We're back to Kuno, who just got a grenade exploded on his chest.
Just taking
You're
a
unconscious, aren't you?
nap,
Yeah,
I
that's right.
assume.
Okay. Mal.
Okay. The one that is still conscious. I'm gonna take a shot at him.
The one that's still conscious? Okay.
Yep. Situational modifier?
None.
No. Okay.
All right.
Phew.
Be aware that I'm super rusty with Shadowrun. It's been several years since I've run it, and this is our first game, so I may be fucking the rules up, but we're having fun. Let's see, make sure
Don't you dare.
it's 3 and 3. So
You
yeah,
take
6.
that bullet. You take it. Don't you dare.
Oh,
You
nope.
fuzzy.
I did 4 instead of 6 again. I can type, guys. I promise. 1 success. I will rule in your favor. So, what's the damage on that?
Oh, bollocks. You're gonna make
Oh
me
wait,
go.
you have it. It's 6.
It's up there. Okay, yeah, it's 6.
So light fire with an Aries. Their armor is 6. All right, so he's out of armor completely.
Haha.
Notate that. All right, cool. All right, and Bonesaw.
So that guy's down.
No, his armor's been negated now, though.
Okay,
so
cool.
That shot cleared his armor off, essentially.
All right. Well, then I'm taking aim at him and firing as well.
All right.
Jesus.
4 successes. That's going to hurt. And, all right, so that's definitely going to hit. And let's see, his armor's gone. He's got a body of 6. 8 all right, so he's down. So that shot follows up. He was spinning from the and recoiling from the shot that Mal hit him with, and he's off his balance. And you take the moment when he's not paying attention to line up another shot and take it, and it clears through his skull, sending him falling back and slumping into the street. All right, we've got this guy's dead now. Alright, and this guy is no longer dazed, so he does actually get a shot. 1d2, figure out which of you he's going to shoot at.
Shoot at Mags.
Mags
No.
is 1.
No!
Rojan's 2. It's a 1.
Why? Why you do this?
Let's see, so I think... Remember what his stats
Because
are.
everyone shoots at the sniper.
Pistols of
No.
4 and athletics of 4, so 8. Alright. 8d6 over 6 this time, not over 4. 1 success.
Okay. So what do I do?
So your reaction plus your intuition again, which is that surprise roll.
Surprise? Okay.
Yep.
Situational or nah?
And nah.
Nah. Okay. 1v1 me, bro.
All right. So he lines up that shot, and you've still got kind of your eye on the battlefield, that trained sniper eye, being able to detect, or not detect, but notice when somebody's lining up a shot, and you duck out of the way as the round goes over your shoulder. All right. Kuno's still unconscious. Mal.
Okay, let's finish this little turkey off. And we're just going to do this. I'm going to shoot at him. Any situational modifiers?
No.
Nope. Okay. Shiba.
All right, and this one is his 66. Slowly remembering what their stats are. No such. All right, so that'll definitely hit. Damage for that is 6, which is his armor, so that negates his armor. And then Bonesaw's turn.
Oh, okay.
I
Tag
just shoot
team.
their armor off and you just finish them off. There you go.
That's what it looks like.
I shoot them naked and you kill them.
All right, 4 and 1, so that'll hit. Damage for that's 8. I think that's what his body was, if I remember right. Yep. So that'll kill him. All right. So the only people left out of this gang are unconscious, laying on the ground, or dead at this point.
I walk over to all the unconscious people and put a round in their head.
All right.
So much for questioning them.
Look, we have a companion that's missing an arm, is unconscious on the ground. He's super big. We're gonna have to try to lug his butt out of here. We don't have time for questions.
All right. So
Besides, they'll probably try to kill us if they woke up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go patch the troll.
Holy shit.
Okay. Give me a first aid roll.
Skills. Social engineering, scientific. There we go. And boop. Any modifiers or not?
No.
Is there any way to assist her if she's doing that, since I have skills in first aid?
Yeah, I'll let you help. I don't know how we're gonna do this. There's not really an assist.
Well, I could probably do something to the arm, since like it's cyber tech.
Yeah, you can work on the cyber tech.
Thinking mechanics wise, I don't think there's an assist mechanic in Shadowrun. So why don't we just roll? Go ahead and both of you roll your first aid, and I'll just adjust the challenge rating.
Okay. If I'm going to be focusing on the arm, do you want me to roll first aid? Or do you want me to roll cyber tech?
Are you trying to repair the arm, or what are you?
I'm trying to, because since it's blown up, I'm trying to at least stabilize the tech to where it's not going to go haywire and kill him.
Oh my god.
So it's not really a threat to his life. That's one of the nice things about cyber limbs is they can get blown off. You just get a new one.
Oh, okay. It's not one of those that it can just freak out and fry your brain.
They're plug and play basically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
So yeah, his actual cyber arm doesn't need any real attention other than the whole thing just needs to be replaced. Because it's kind of beyond repair point at this point. All right. It's a lot of mechanics. There's mechanics for a lot of everything, Bubber. But it's also a lot of investigation. As far as the way that missions are set up is usually kind of you get vague details on a job, you go figure out what the job actually entails and do it. So it's a lot of kind of play. It can play a lot like Blades in the Dark. Alicorn, thank you for the resub. Welcome back.
Buy a new arm on me.
Buy a new arm on me seems good. So yeah, combat is definitely a lot more mechanics heavy than like Blades is. It plays a lot like 3.5 does, where there's a lot of skills involved in the everything. All right, so 3 successes combined working on stabilizing HB Fox's character. Kuno. I'll get it right one day. All right, and I think that you guys can get him stabilized, at least where he's not bleeding out, but he may be like, you can't tell if he's bleeding internally. You can't really tell the condition that his organs are in from that concussive blast right on his chest. So physically outside, he's not bleeding profusely anywhere that you can tell, but he's still unconscious. His heart rate is slower than normal. Bubber, no worries. This is kind of why we do this show, is to mess around with new systems every month and get to know them and see how they play. So it's completely fine to interrupt and like ask what our opinions are and how it's going. That's one of the points of this show. So yeah, so he's definitely, his heart rate is lower, and you can guess that he probably has some internal damage.
So we need to get him to a specialist. I begin to look for anything around we could maybe hoist him up on, or if there's like some sort of a flatbed vehicle or something we could just put him on.
Now, as a reminder from, and I don't know if anybody took it, but it is an option if somebody did. Does anybody have a dock wagon card?
I think we both do, Mags.
So what you can do with a dock wagon card is it's a little plastic. It's literally a little plastic card, and you break it, and it sends a signal to dock wagon, and they come get you and extract you and treat your wounds. That's kind of what it's for. So if you have one and you want to use it, you can.
Let me check.
Actually, okay. That would be under gear, right?
Gear.
Probably.
1 year of advance pay. Yeah, I've got a platinum dock wagon.
All right.
There you go.
So if you want, that is an option that you guys can take then.
Okay. Yeah, he needs some TLC. He done fucked up.
I mean, he needs some TLC. We're done here anyway, so you know.
Okay.
All right. So you using your dock wagon card? All right.
Yep.
So you
'Cause I'm not carrying his heavy ass.
you crack it and a green LED begins to blink on the card. And it's slowly just kind of blinking, and then it begins to blink faster and faster and faster. And it takes about 2 minutes. You hear this rush of stomping footsteps coming running down the cavern. And there are about 20 guys in white military fatigues and body armor with them. And they're all armed, and they've all got big red crosses kind of across their chest. And they look down at I'll remember characters' names in a minute, Mal, and say, "We were called to this location by a card, that one that you're holding in your hand. How can we help?"
That, and I point down to the incapacitated, probably seriously injured troll.
They look him over, and two of the guys begin to kind of put together this stretcher. And the guy that was talking to Mal says, "We've got an ambulance outside of the Big Rhino. We will be taking your friend directly to the hospital. You are more than welcome to ride with us." And as they're saying that, they are getting, basically they're kind of putting this stretcher together, binding Kuno in this material so that he doesn't move or get jostled, and then moving him over to the stretcher and hooking up. And this is all happening like super quick, but they're hooking up like EKG meters, blood pressure meters, all that kind of stuff to him as they're going. And it's like watching a Daytona pit crew kind of work to get him onto the stretcher and immediately begin moving their way through the Orc Underground back to the Big Rhino entrance. You're having to actually sprint and run to keep up with them. And they make sure that each of you has a armed guard running beside you at all times as well.
I feel sorry for the guard that has to run with me.
He's casually walking beside him.
Just like stutter stepping as he's trying to keep do a pace, but stubby legs.
Damn dwarf.
And I think that's a good spot for us to go ahead and end the episode this evening. That did not at all go as planned.
Sorry.
I mean, as per usual, you bunch of murder hobos.
Hey, it went precisely to my plan. So
you just suicide bomb yourself.
Look at the group you're playing with. I think after the Blades game, you should just take it into consideration that subtlety is not our strong suit.
I'm well aware. I just didn't think you'd kill everybody you saw. Literally everybody.
Hey, we tried to get out of the second encounter peacefully, but they wanted to fight. So
well, the second encounter wouldn't have happened if the first encounter hadn't happened.
Well, if they didn't pull out a shotgun when trying to converse with us, I wouldn't have had a fire grenade.
Anyway, yeah, how are you guys liking Shadowrun?
I like it.
I like it so far.
Yeah, once we kind of started to get a grip on the mechanics and the way the sheets and stuff work, it's getting more and more enjoyable.
So Shadowrun for me falls into that space that I love the setting. I hate the mechanics because it plays like 3.5 does, and it's a lot of skills and it's a lot of spreadsheets, and it's a pain in the ass. But it's a fun setting, and that's why I like it. So we're going to continue on with Shadowrun for the rest of January. So we've got 3 more games, I think, 4 more games. We have 5 weeks this month. And then next month, I think, Rojan, you wanted to do Starfinder, I think, if I remember right. So we're going to do Starfinder in February. And then in February, we're going to retire RPG Mixtape. That'll be the last month that we do this show. March, we're starting a new show, and I don't want to say anything else about it yet. Other than it'll be the same time slot. So we'll still be here. We're doing casting for it now. I already kind of know what system we're playing. Maybe I may change my mind. It'll be the same theme it'll just be maybe a different system. I haven't decided yet. Same theme though. So all that's going to be the same. So you guys that I've talked to about it already, we're still basically playing the same game. We just may play it with like 5th edition D&D rules instead of the other system rules. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, so let's see. I always pick on HP Fox first. So this time I'm going to go with Mags. Actually, HP Fox, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
You're a jerk. I thought this year was going to be different.
No.
I see how it is. I'm HB Fox, and I'm on all of the shows on this channel because I can't say no. And I'm also the manager for The Hunter Wild, who has been gripped possibly fatally by They Are Billions. I'm going to have to tear him away from that game at some point.
They Are Billions is a lot of fun. I get very salty at it all the time.
And it's still holding great numbers for us, so it's hard to turn away from that. But we're going to have to at some point soon.
It is a really good game. I've been super impressed with it, and finally actually won my first match today. Out of the like 15 or 20 that I've done.
I really like the difficulty system in that game. It's not just a straight like easy, medium, hard type of thing. With that percentage scale, it adds a lot of variety.
Yeah, it does. Mags, who are you? What do you do on the internet this time?
I am Hybrid Magpie. I am a creative caster here on Twitch. I do channel overlays. I do emotes. All the cool stuff that you need to make your channel look spiffy, and also an occasional variety caster. Mostly creative, though.
She doesn't play video games. Don't believe her lies.
Okay, no, like I will confirm. She was up at like 4 a.m. over here one day playing Minecraft. So
that's not. Never mind. Just gonna give her a bunch of shit.
You hush it.
Rojan, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am Rojan Quest, and much like HB Fox, I am on every show imaginable on here. I co-DM Dungeon Distractions with Imp, and on my own channel, I play a variety of anything that resembles a RPG, FPS, or fighting game. Currently doing far too much commitment to a Skyrim permadeath run. Currently on character 19. Still going through that pain. And then tomorrow, I am going to begin a little retro playthrough of The Legend of Dragoon.
Right on. Alright, I am Impius. I run Dungeons and Distractions here on Twitch along with the help of Rojan Quest and all of my beautiful players. Yeah, we currently have 3 shows a week. Right now it is on Sunday nights is Blood Moon Adventures, which is our 5th edition Tomb of Annihilation show. Tuesdays is Gibbering Mouthers, which is a 5th edition planar jumping, insanity-based, kill everything, murder hobo show. I don't have a better description for that. And then Wednesdays is RPG Mixtape, where the show where we have usually a guest star on with us this month. Unfortunately, we were supposed to do this game in December, it just didn't line up, and unfortunately Mila has obligations in January, so she wasn't able to join us. But we are still playing Shadowrun and going to try it out for this month and have a lot of fun with it. We are going to go on a raid, and I hopefully going to get the timing of this right this time. We're going to go raid Spooner Sloth, who is one of the members of the Sunday Night Cast. He's currently playing The Division. So if you guys will hit that raid button up in the top right-hand corner over your chat, it'd be much appreciated. He's a fantastic streamer, a great guy, and really entertaining. So hopefully you guys will stick around, and I should post the raid message before we go. There you
go.
Nope. No. The bot's fucking it up. I heard there were dragons in here. There you go.
Too late. JK lol.